And my favorite, day before my debut, I've gone to war. Damn, those are surely some quotes. And on the commissioner side, honestly, it's also hard to realize it's not okay to be mistreated. It's not okay to like send a message every 2 months and hope for a reply. The situation started when Juno Ives, I think that's how you pronounce her name, posted on Twitter the following thread. I think we need to have a serious talk about the artists on here, specifically the ones that consistently work with VTubers. I am the last person who wants to be negative in my own space, but the last 6 months I've experienced stressful business that can only be defined as disrespectful and violently unprofessional. I have commissioned a couple of dozen, 20, maybe 30 artists in the last month, big and small. Have been a fan of and genuinely believe them to have immense talent. But of those artists, almost all of them were completely silent after taking my payment and did not ever send me a message, update, or any sort of communication, even while being severely late or breaking their own TOS and set agreements with me. I had to beg to be acknowledged 4 to 10 times during these purchases. But even after begging, I was met with lies, more ignoring, rushed pieces that were already late, or yes, just straight up shockingly late pieces. I have given every single person I ever worked with their full compliments and 5-star ratings regardless, in fear of upsetting any artist, or being seen as rude. As a customer and VTuber, artists are the backbone of the community, and I do not exist without them. Reputation is everything, and I don't want anyone to feel ill after working with me, so I grit my teeth and endure. That does make me a part of the problem. I rarely speak up or adjust my rating to see fit. I am extremely small, poor, and have no artistic talent. I must live within the ability of everyone I worked with, through mutual respect and agreements. But at the same time, I have never felt as broken, ignored, ghosted, and damn near scammed since I began working with these VTuber artists. Scamming is a lot less common now that large profiles and portfolios exist. However, no one ever talks about how it was replaced with unprofessional behavior, lies, ghosting, having to message them once a month to make sure you exist to them, and the sketches taking half a year to complete. I hate whining. I've been silent because I love these artists. But the truth is, I don't think they really treat it like a job, even though you pay them. Just taking money and caring about the rest later. If it was 1 or 2 or hell, even only 10 people who did this to me, I could bear it. But the fact that nearly 90% of the people I've encountered an issue with or being ignored by shows it's heavily normalized. I'm the most understanding, positive, and easily pleased person out there. One message goes such a long way. Just telling me you need to push the date or mistakenly took on many clients and will adjust accordingly, or that you need a small break before continuing would mean the world to me at this point. To taking the money and doing what you please, these pieces aren't cheap. Is so sad. I feel like the guise of the deadline is just to get me in the door, not an actual promise. I wanted to get that off my chest. I go silent because I fear if I say something negative, people won't want to work with me, or think I'm harsh or picky, but I just want to feel seen. Please don't recommend or promote under this. This was a post with feelings of neglect and frustration, not a request for help. I am not looking for art. I have so many pending pieces and haven't received care in months. I pretty much gave up. I'm dirt poor and dried up. Not to mention, the vouching does not really work on me anymore. The whole point is, no matter who has dozens of thousands of followers, shiny 5-star reviews work with the biggest creators and get recommended to you over and over. They all can and will treat you however they feel like at the time. And as someone who also commissioned a lot of art in the past, I agree so much with this. I had so many terrible experiences with artists that, like, for example, there was one time that I'm someone who like used to allow artists more specifically to kind of like mistreat me, as in I would never do anything to upset them while my commission was late, and they just wait and nothing happened. I had so many experiences like this. I can relate so much, and that's such a sad thing because I'm an artist too. If I want people to have confidence in my work, I should should also be able to have confidence in other people's work. But I've got to a point that I recently have only been commissioning people I already worked with and had good experiences with, which is really sad because new and upcoming artists need more clients. They need to create a name for themselves, and this whole problem just makes you scared of commissioning them, which is so sad. This post had a bunch of replies. I'll just rate some of them. Guardian says you should 100% rate them based on their service, and from what you're saying, they're 0 stars. Don't put up with that. If you are paying someone for their service, they must act professionally. This is their job. None of us get away with this in our day jobs. And Juno says, I know I'm potentially hurting others when I don't. I just feel so awful to put anyone down. That last line is totally right. Craig says, surely you're not still giving this insanely unprofessional artist 5 stars? Not to say you're part of the problem, but imagine getting absolute dog shit from a restaurant and telling the next person who talks in it's to die for. And Juno says, it's the unfortunate truth. It's very cowardly to admit, but I'm part of the many who do nothing to stop them or provide proper consequences. Misha says, I find that quite a few artists on here have never really had jobs outside of art commissions, so the process can end up being treated very casually. And Juno says, it showed. And a bunch of people were forward tweeting this. Blossom VT says, I would say, some artists are just not meant to take commissions. Seriously, what can we do about this? I've commissioned well over 400 pieces, and the amount of issues I face as someone who asks for updates once every 2 months has been appalling. Anyone want to hear real things artists have said to me over the years? Starting with my most recent jam. Admit I am one of the artists that have failed you, but I am not all of the artists who have failed you. Your money represented a trauma to me. I actually thought I contacted you, but that was a false memory. I was too afraid to message you after 1 year. I know I owe you thousands, but if you prepay X more, I'll do a quick delivery. I'll update you this week, every day for 4 months. Sorry, I just got home. A homeless person stabbed a hole in my tire today. I didn't intend on scamming you. And my favorite, day before my debut, I've gone to war. Damn, those are surely some quotes. Damn. Hey, if you've made this far into the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thank you for your time. Now let's get back into the video. And continues, by the way, please do not allow yourself to be fine with updates every 2 months. I genuinely thought this was normal when I started commissioning, and I continue to not mind as long as I got accounts within the PayPal 180 days. Establish the artist's TOS on payment and ensure both you and them stick by it. Be firm on telling them you will be getting a refund by a certain date. Of course, within reason. Something that helped me be firmer. If you wouldn't let your friend get treated like this, why would you let it happen to you? And on the commissioner side, honestly, it's also hard to realize it's not okay to be mistreated. It's not okay to send a message every 2 months and hope for a reply. As someone who had to learn that, and I know how hard it is to learn that, and it's sad that we need to learn that, but it do be like that. Alk says, is it really that art takes long, or do artists accept 50 comes, take the money up front, now they're backlogged and the clock started? We should normalize not taking money until the come will actually be worked on. Sincerely, an artist that takes 1 to 2 commissions and has a short turnaround time. A wholesome interaction for a recent commission I had, updating like a decent person, and they were so grateful. It makes me so happy to bring other happiness in the small things. And there's a chat where it says, update, start line art and cleaning. And the other person says, yippee! And again, update, line art done, will be coloring tomorrow. And the other person says, oh my, I'm so excited, you're the best illustration that I made commission so far. I tried 3 and they took forever to reply to me. No updates take too long and everything. Also, I'll say something. I had a really funny experience with commissioning art once. Basically, I commissioned an artist for 3 pieces, and they delivered the first 2, and then for the last piece, both me and the artist forgot about it for 1 year. And then I suddenly went to their DMs like, wait, did we forgot we had a commission? And the artist was like, oh my god. And then they finished it from 1 to 2 weeks. And I was like, that wasn't a bad experience for me because both me and the artist forgot. And once I reminded the artist, they like finished it. They did it fast. So it wasn't a bad experience per se to me. And that just shows that communication goes a long way. And it's truly all about communication. That's the biggest problem they were discussing here. May says, dear artists, do better. I'm saying this as an artist myself. By having this behavior, you're hurting yourself and your reputation, and the entire community. Wake up! You have the immense privilege to work from your home, doing a cozy job that you choose and are supposed to love. So many small artists would cry if they even got a $5 commission. Let that sink in. And yet that's how you treat the people putting food on your table? Shameless behavior. You'd be fired if it was any other job. Yet you're actually agreeing with the people who say artist isn't a real job by working like that. Or perhaps would you prefer they turned to AI instead because of all the bad experiences they have with artists? Just stop taking commissions if that's how you act. This is not a playground. It's your fucking job. And people spend their hard-earned money on your service. This went out of my circle a bit. So I just want to clarify something. I'm not perfect by any means. I am someone who gets a lot of ideas at once, and sometimes people on my waitlist have to wait a little longer because of that. But when you've paid me, or we've set a deadline, I will send updates, check in, and deliver on time. That should be the norm. Being an artist also involves creativity, and sometimes you just don't have the inspiration. That's why it's even more important to be disciplined and self-conscious of it being our job. I'm also human, and we all forget things or get overwhelmed sometimes. But it shouldn't become a pattern. And if it happens, take accountability. Don't go to send repeated silly excuses. Let your client know, communicate honestly, offer a refund if needed. That's the standard I hold myself to. Jury says, if I paid you, you need to deliver, and if you can't, you communicate. Nowadays, if I feel like I'm being disrespected of my time and money as a paying client, then I simply charge back after a warning no matter what sub-story you give me. I'm sorry, but your difficulties were not brought upon by me. My money doesn't fall from the sink either. Call me mean or whatever, but that's how you protect your money and your peace nowadays. And to close it all off, Juno made a new tweet, quote retweeting their own tweet and saying, I didn't expect to make ripples in so many communities. But I suppose I did get what I asked for. A serious talk. Thank you for the support and lots of general advice. I don't know why I only get followers when I passionately rant, but I guess a lot of people could relate to my words. I appreciate the comments a lot, even the ones blaming me, I won't be commissioning anything for a long time. I just wanted to express my thoughts. I requested to cancel pretty much all pieces that were still pending. However, I'm happy to see the artists pridefully showing off their communication skills and promoting themselves in their own space, not mine, please. An old saying that rings true for me is, don't spend money online that you are okay with losing. With digital goods, it's always a risk, right? Gift card codes, in-game purchases, random artists across the world. Everything intangible and on the internet isn't completely secure. I hope everyone can maybe be more chattier. At the very least, in a perfect world, I wish that every artist sends a minimum of an update per line stroke. In all seriousness, this blew up, but I'm happy to be the source of a conversation about a frustrating issue. I'll communicate better in the future too, and less 5 stars to people who might not deserve it. I hope the artists will choose not just get by with sending a response to customers' questions, but rather proactively be ahead, send messages about scheduling, line art, openings, delays, finishing touches, etc. Yes, it might add a little more pressure to the artist, but it's a job. A paid service with money and clients. But what do I know? I'm not the one buying right now. Hope everyone can get their needs met no matter who you are. And attached some screenshots on how it was trending. Again, how it was trending and the amount of views the post got. And that's it for today, I think. I'm really curious on your experiences, and I would truly love to see your comments down there because it's a topic I'm particularly passionate about, as I love art that had several terrible experiences in the past. So don't forget to leave a comment. Bye bye!